What is up, everybody? How's it going, and welcome back. All right, so this is part 2 on the inverter install on a 2007 Toyota 4Runner Sport Edition 4-wheel drive with the 4.7 liter V8, ARB front locker, ARB rear locker. So got the switch installed. In the previous video, I showed you guys how you can fish the plug out of the dash. There it is folded in some little foam insulation that they put around the wire harness. They fold them a couple times inside the foam, then put some tape on them, and then they just shove them up in the dash. So the inverter switch is right here. I showed that turns on. The only thing I'm missing is the 120 volt plug that I need to actually install in here. It's actually in the center console down here by the 3.5 millimeter jack plug. This truck did not come with the inverter, but Toyota always installs the highest trim level harness and all the plugs and everything. So everything's basically plug and play. You do need to put a relay in the fuse panel out here. I did show that on the previous video. If you guys want to see part 1, go to part 1. It will be before this one. So this video is just going to be in particularly giving information on how to get this panel pulled away enough that you can get the inverter box in. And I already put everything back together. These clips right here, if you pop this cover off, you can actually reach behind and squeeze the back of it. And when you squeeze the back of it, you can actually pull. You pull this star out and it will release. Take this bolt out right here, which I end up not needing to take this one out, but take this panel off. You take this outer trim piece off right here with these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. You pull this panel off. Then there will be one screw right here that's holding this panel down. You flip this forward, and then you could literally pop this off. It's just a little cover. There's a bolt here. There's also a metal washer and a little plastic red washer, or whatever color your vehicle is, should have a plastic washer, so this doesn't rub against the body. You then tilt this panel up like this and slide out. For this, the double-decker piece, let me put this back. You just swing this back in, clip. There is a bolt here for this hinge. There's one on the opposite side. And then right here in the center, right here in the middle of the vehicle, there is a clip. This panel, once you unclip it, it will come that way. So there's a lip right here on this panel that lips under this. So the double decker, that's where it lips under. Then once you get this panel off, there will be a bolt here and a bolt right here that this hinge piece right here for the double decker tray is bolted. It's bolted straight to the body. Then you don't have to remove this, but in here, to make it easier to see, you can remove this little tray. There's a bolt here, and then there's 2 little screws attached to the bottom of this tray about right here and right here, and you have to hinge the tray forward and pull out. It makes it easier when these hinges and the tray is open. It makes it easier to do it, because when the tray is closed, the hinges are way back here. Then you get that off, and then there's a bunch of plastic clips up here. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then there's a 5th one all the way in the back by the seat. You push your little, there's a button here, right here, on both sides. You fold the bottom seats forward, and then you swing these seats all the way down, and that will give you access to this panel right here at the door seam. And there's one more clip right here at the door seam. That should give you enough to be able to sit in the back, pull the panel towards you, lean it, and there will be a bolt that you're going to need. You're going to need an M6 by 1.0 thread pitch, 10 millimeter headed bolt. You're going to need 2 of them. The inverter module faces that way, where the plug faces this way. There'll be a little hole right here that a hook goes into on the body behind the panel. There'll be a bolt right next to it, and then there'll be a bolt right up here. And then what you do is you just bolt that in, and then Toyota leaves and folds the wire harness and tapes it to the harness that actually plugs in right here, which is for your tow hitch module that allows your tow inverter. It inverts the signal from your tail lights to the trailer. That's what that's for. So part of that harness will be the plug for the 115 volt, 120 volt inverter. So I got the inverter box installed. I have the relay installed. I have the switch installed. The only thing I need is the 120 volt plug that goes in the center console in the front. So I'm going to get this stuff thrown back in the truck, all the stuff that I have in the front thrown back here, and then I'll show you a little bit closer on where that plug goes. Alright everybody, so I'm back. I got all this stuff in the front put back in here. So this has got my tow straps and chains and stuff in it. Tow hitch stuff. This is an emergency kit, a medical kit. This is my quad inflation hose kit. Underneath that is another Morphlate bag back there. That is another compressor. This is a set of jumper cables, 1 gauge, 30-foot jumper cables. And then I got some inflation accessories in here, like tire inflator, a single tire inflator, handle. I got some hose, actually a couple hoses in there. So all you need for this job, to be honest, is a Phillips number 2. Just a flathead, pretty long. This is just for prying, and a 10 millimeter. And this is just a little 12 volt DeWalt impact driver. It is a DCF 801. I grabbed this one because it's not extremely powerful. It does have tri LEDs, and then I just put a quarter inch shank by 3/8 socket adapter and a 3/8 10 millimeter deep socket. And that harness, this is actually what the harness looks like. My buddy actually cut this out, even though I didn't need it. But he gave it to me for free anyways. So the one that you want to look for is this plug right here. It has got a red with a white stripe, a green, a white with a black stripe, and a purple with a red stripe. This plug right here goes to the inverter. So I'll just keep this in case I need it for the truck. And that's just my set of keys. And then, so you go over here, and here's the center console. Right here, if you pop this panel off, you can actually access, there'll be a plug tied up right here, that's tied up to the harness. And then the inverter actually goes in here. So the inverter goes right next to this 3.5 millimeter jack plug in here. So the only thing I need to get that I'm missing is I forgot to pick it up while I was at my buddy Josh's, which is the inverter plug. The actual 120 volt outlet plug that goes in here is the only thing I'm missing. The switch is installed, the inverter is installed, the relay is installed. So the only thing I need is the inverter plug, and I will be good to go. But that is all you guys got to do to pull the panel off and get the inverter module installed. It's not too bad. You might want a helper. That way the helper can just hold the panel away so you can get your fingers and hands in there. You can take this little cubby box out to make it easier, because then you can shove your arm through here, get to this bolt down here, and then you can reach over and put the bolt in up here. So there's one here and one here. That is it, guys. You guys have an awesome rest of your day. I hope the video helps. Peace!